The way this one works is I took a bunch of screenshots from Pokémon Masters EX. That's the mobile game. That's the squad-based 3-on-3 mobile game where you have a bunch of different characters from around the Pokemon franchise that you have the ability to use. I've taken those and I've run them through a somewhat complicated process. Just to break it down a little more simply, there's a model called Realistic Vision, which is used to produce realistic pictures of people. It's tuned on that. I also used what's called an embedding that I have based on a bunch of stills from the Detective Pikachu movie. So the basic gist of this quiz is, what would these characters look like in the Detective Pikachu style movie? Your goal, as well as Anne's goal, is to sort of guess, based on the picture, what character these are. I've tried to arrange them in roughly ascending difficulty, and there is at least one character in this quiz who is specific to Pokémon Masters EX. But Anne, let's see. We did the album art description thing back in December. That didn't work out so great, so I hope this proves to be a little bit easier. I'll also try and explain some of the issues I ran into along the way. Alright, so here's our first picture. I did put a little watermark over the image and at the bottom right, just so in case no one uses these to claim that there is some sort of live action. I mean, there is one, but these are not pictures from it, I can tell you that much. Alright, and this is our first picture. Who do you think it is?
Okay, my first guess is going to be Misty.
And that's correct. This is Misty. And in fact, let me go on to the next slide.
Cute.
So it's actually a particular variant. Yeah, so a lot of the characters in the game, a fair number of them have what's called a Signa-suit variant, where they have usually a different Pokemon and a different outfit. So this is Signa-suit Misty. So she doesn't have her trademark side ponytail in this one. She just wears her hair down on this.
That would be an amazing cosplay if anyone has time.
Yeah, so certainly you can there. But that one's hopefully a fairly easy one. Just to give some things here, there's another slide at the very end that has an alternate for this that I considered picking out. As far as aspects that I had difficulty with, I mean, obviously the dress isn't a perfect match in any way. There's one that's in the alternate that's a little closer but has some other issues there. You can't see her ears, so you can't model the earrings. Stuff like that. So you still don't get exactly what you want out of this, but it's, I think, a fairly good photo there. But yes. Yeah. All right, well, let's go on to the second one here.
Oh. Okay, I'm going to guess, it doesn't explain the keyboard, but I'm going to guess Lance the Dragon Trainer first.
It is not.
Okay. So
I'll give you a hint. This is from the Sun and Moon generation. This is one of the trial captains.
You know, I don't think I'm gonna get this one.
Okay.
Is it Sophocles? Is it? No, because he's not a captain.
No, I don't remember if captain is the right term there, but trial givers is probably actually the correct term. But yes, you did get the name right. This is Sophocles.
Oh, it is Sophocles. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so actually, I think when I wrote the prompt to transform this image into the one you see here, I think I misidentified the thing he's holding in his left hand there as a calculator. It does appear to be a smartphone, but you can sort of see there. I did go through a number of variations of this one. I tried to get one that made his shirt design look at least somewhat like a Game Boy, which is what it's supposed to look like. It kind of gave up on his little, I don't know what his neck thing is there. If that's
scarf.
A scarf of some sort. Yeah, it's kind of weird there, but yes, that's who it is there. So
Aww.
Yeah. So these weren't, by the way, designed to look like specific actors. Certainly, I'm not up on who the child actors are these days. But it is Sophocles from Sun and Moon. All right, let's go on to number 3.
Okay. So we're gonna have my first guess. Is gonna. I don't know what she wears in Masters EX, but
this one is pretty close to her main game appearance. I'll give you that.
Okay, then it's not gonna be Skyla. Is Dawn in this game?
She is, but this is not Dawn.
It is not Dawn. Okay. Can I get another hint? Or
It's one of the gym leaders from Diamond and Pearl.
From Diamond and Pearl. Who else is in Diamond and Pearl? I think I'm gonna pass then.
Okay, you're probably gonna kick yourself when you realize
surely.
This is Candace.
Oh.
Who, to be quite honest, I think is kind of one of the lazier later generation gym leader designs. No offense to Japanese schoolgirls out there, but it doesn't seem like... I figured they could have made her like a figure skater or maybe even curling or skiing or something, but the one thing that was obviously very difficult to get that I would have taken more work would have been her pigtails or whatever you want to call her, or dual ponytails or whatever you want to call them, just because that's just not really a natural hairstyle. And that will be a theme going forward, that it has trouble doing hairstyles that are not reasonable. But
that's Pokemon's trademark, so...
Otherwise, I think I got it
pretty well.
But
you're right, it's just a chick wearing clothes, so sometimes it doesn't stick in your memory.
But, okay, let's go on to... This will be the number 4.
Lieutenant Surge?
No.
Okay. Kiawe?
It is not.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. It is from Ruby and Sapphire.
Oh.
So probably earlier than you might have thought.
Yes. Okay. Ruby and Sapphire. Is it one of the Team Aqua leaders?
It is not.
Okay.
Although those are playable characters in Pokemon Masters, it is not one of them. I should point out, yes, evil team leads, even that aren't gym leaders, which is most of them, are present in the game, so... Okay.
Wallace? No, because he didn't have... He was an older gentleman. I don't know.
Okay. So this is Sydney. He's one of the Elite Four of the Hoenn region. He's the Dark type Elite Four member, if I remember correctly. So this one worked out especially well.
Yeah.
Like if this character seems like someone who could really show up in like Detective Pikachu or that universe or that depiction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. The other interesting thing is I had to put down Crimson for his hair there. So if I ever do Flannery with this, I guess I'll probably have to do the same thing. But because red is an actual hair color, but there's also, because this is semi-anime based, there's
right
also red here. But the jacket worked out pretty well with the gold and the dark brown or black. Yeah, that worked out very well. All right, let's move on to number 5.
Oh. Caitlin?
Wow, that is exactly right. This is Caitlin.
Yes!
So, the thing it kind of got wrong here, I mean, the head is obviously not the right shape, but it just could not fathom someone having that much hair.
I mean, I feel like someday I may achieve that voluminous, but...
Yeah, I think the sleepwear. Yeah, she's from. I think she's actually from 2 places. I think she shows up in the Platinum Battle Frontier, and in the Elite Four in Black and White.
Black and White.
I believe.
Yeah,
she's
no, I
in both
remember
of those.
her, and yeah, just thinking what a cosplay that would be if I could ever grow my hair that long, because my hair does take over an entire room sometimes.
Well, speaking of Black and White, if I ever do this with Iris, that might be a problem as well. Other than that, yeah, so getting something that looks kind of like that, and the lighting isn't totally different, but you can see it's kind of going in a different place. All right, well, we got one more. Let's try and go through that. I don't want to keep too long on this since this is supposed to be a pre-show, like I said.
Nonetheless, I'm not doing half bad today.
Yeah, you're doing certainly better than this one. So this is our last one. So this is the character who is specific to the game. So I will give you that hint. He's specific to Pokémon Masters EX.
Right.
Which you should definitely play, because we will be discussing the music of that in a year or 2.
Yes, this is true. Given that I'm not 100%, like, I have not played a ton of EX yet, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get this. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know.
Well, you might have had a better shot if you'd remembered more from the short I released last week, because this is Lear, Prince Lear, as it is. The guy who has a confined Hoopa as his Pokemon in the game. let's see, the
I knew
80s
those
called They Want Their
sunglasses
Sunglasses Back, but
or Kamina, like.
but as you can see here, this one turned out pretty well with the rays of light. So most of these pictures are either their profile pictures in the game or a shot of them using, like, each what's called a sync pair has a super move, and this is part of the animation of Lear using his. So he's one of several original characters in that game. He also has a sort of bodyguard guy and sort of an assistant female character who I also considered using in here. But this one, I think, turned out pretty well. It's got the tie and that and the overcoat or whatever it is that's dark gray on top of the thing there. Getting more with this, let's take a look at a few bonus slides here before we go back to the regular stuff. So this is an alternate slide of Misty. The problems I had with this one were, one, that her left arm seems overly long, and the arms just didn't work out too well. And her belly button looks a little off. Even though she's turning there, it doesn't look quite right either. So even though this dress is closer to what she has in the game under her Sigma suit, because it has those little things on her arms, it didn't quite work out. And then here's one I decided not to pick, or I tried to make work but didn't. So AI art is getting better at hands, but this was still too much for it. This is Lyra in a special costume. This is one that, as we're recording this, you can actually still try and get, and is part of, I think, the mystery series or whatever that's going on right now as we're recording this. So it has Lyra in a Team Rocket outfit, and either, like, the fingers on the two hands, touching each other and stuff, it had a lot of trouble with that, and then getting the output right and all that stuff.